Well, hello there. How we doing? It's time for another shooting the shit. Oh yeah. So I'm just waiting here for people to crack on to come on, whatever. Um, uh, Now I was going to upload a couple of videos here. But I can't remember where I put them. They might be in here. Let me just quickly see if I downloaded them. Oh no, I didn't download them yet. Anyway, I'll come back to them later. So, Maz Purvis, nice to see you here. How you doing? How's life treating you, Maz? You still working in the old NHS, or you private? You're private, aren't you? In the private medical service. Good to see you. You started. Well, I don't know if you basically. I like you because you speak the truth as a nurse. You put out that this COVID thing is 100% bollocks. So well done for that. Basically, I'm working in a job. It's not necessarily related in the same level with you as obviously the COVID, but I still come on here and speak my truth. Basically, what can you do at this time in history or life or whatever? We've got to be as transparent, I think, and honest as possible because shit's going to hit the fan, definitely. So it's a case of doing the right thing, I think, and trying to inspire others to do the right thing, yeah? And there's different people can have different things they can do without getting themselves in too much hot water. You've got to kind of protect yourselves a little bit, but I'm at the stage where basically it's more important to speak out, and a lot of people still think it's safe to keep their head in the sand, which it most certainly isn't. So actually, that's kind of why I've got this first picture up here. What's the difference between waiting for Jesus to come and save you, waiting for aliens to come and save you? Some people are actually doing that. Waiting for politicians to come and save you. This is a lot of people still think Q and Trump are going to save them. I was listening to a podcast today about that. Who knows? I'm still open minded. I did have a period where I was like, Trump, this is like legit. He's taken down the cabal. Now, for a long period since then, I'm thinking, nah, it's no. Somebody today said, it is possible. I still don't think it is, but I will honestly hold my hands up and praise the Lord if that is going on in the background. But really, I don't think we should be waiting for anyone. What's similar is the abdication of responsibility. No one's coming to save us. We've got to save ourselves, and that's what this whole COVID thing can be about. Is humanity finally? It's like a birthing, I think. It's like quite messy and lots of blood and shit everywhere. But at the end of the day, there's a new baby at the end of it. So is humanity going to like progress? To me, it's like progressing from a child to an adult at this point. We've got that opportunity, or we can just you know be wiped out essentially and totally changed with our DNA, and there'll be a humanity 2.0, which will be not very human at all. Be more like a computer, yeah. Used boxes sent to us recently for PHE for repeat testing. I'm not sure what that means exactly. PHE, what's that? But yeah, it's people are doing testing, aren't they, on the internet? And one guy, he got 3 tests, and he got 3 of his friends' phone numbers and that. The first one he tested, well, he swabbed his dog, then he swabbed the pavement, and what was the other thing? His keyboard. I swabbed his keyboard, and I think the keyboard came back negative, but the dog in the pavement came back positive. So that blew his mind. And then there's another guy. I think he'd seen that video, and he then didn't swab anything. You see him just take the thing out, break it in half, put it in, and send it back to them. And he was shocked that he got a positive result, because anyone that knows about these tests, the PCR tests, that Mullins invented this machine, whatever it is, that's bollocks, basically. COVID isn't real for a start, so we don't even need to test for it because they never even proved it. Because they never isolated, purified, categorized the virus and introduced it to another person and proved that it caused illnesses. There's no peer-reviewed paper that proves any virus has caused any harm ever. It's all just a complete fabrication. And as long as they've got the mainstream media pumping out that story 24/7, it's like black magic. Just repeat something often enough, and it becomes reality, apparently. So the public health, yeah, what are they doing for repeat testing? Used boxes. What do you mean used boxes? I'm not too sure. Um, yeah, basically, it's a shit show there. So today, I actually stood up for myself. A couple of weeks ago, I said I'm not wearing a mask, but I will wear a visor. I tried the visor for a couple of weeks, and that disturbs me greatly as well. So I had to tell the boss I'm not happy with the visor, and basically threaten legal action if you try to make me wear one or discipline me for it. And turns out the boss is on my side. You just have to stand up to it. So now I've got to meet the nurses tomorrow and figure out a way how I can get in and out the factory safely with my non-mask. But everyone else were getting briefed that this virus is fucking contagious and it's causing havoc, and you can't. They're not letting people share a car together now. They're trying to fuck up humanity basically, and everyone's just going along with it. And where is your spirit? I just don't like being. I just don't like evil. Trying to dictate to me what I can and can't do. And speaking of evil, this is the kind of shit that's going on. This isn't for sale in God knows Walmart or something like that. They take the piss. Basically, it becomes a meme, doesn't it? This New World Order pyramid and the eye in the pyramid. In pizza, we trust. I mean, you can't really joke about that stuff, Pizza Gate and stuff like that. But it could be quite a good parody if it was funny. But basically, there's children getting raped and murdered, so it's not that funny, is it? But they've just got the balls to chuck that out there, and these young people these days think it's all cool. All this Freemasonic symbolism. But it's really quite disgustingly evil, and it's time for us to stand up, educate ourselves. So today there's a couple of other guys who I ranted at a guy last week. I got a bit too passionate, so I'm trying to talk to them on a level today. And Maz, I don't know if you know this, you should go to this Facebook group. I'll type it in. Practical Lawful Dissent. There's actually a Zoom meeting going on right there. I was going to put the show back in there, but the Zoom meeting's been recorded. It's basically these documents to do with filling out an oath of allegiance, and it's basically breaking the contract with the state of your birth certificate and the legal name, so that you don't have to listen to all their bullshit statutes and stuff like that. So if you own a business and you take your oath of allegiance, then you stand under Article 61 of the Magna Carta, and that means you can open your business and you don't have to listen to the police. It's quite a powerful thing. And the group is growing quite dramatically because people are looking for answers. And I figured out this guy's talking the truth. I sent a lot of people his way, and then it's kind of growing. So I definitely recommend checking that out. What else we got? Oh God, yeah. They're quite blasé, aren't they? Right in the North Wales town, it's got their Agenda 21, and it's got these headlines. I think in another paper it had New World Order. So I don't know if that paper is basically speaking out against it, or just they don't care at this point. They think they've got everybody by the balls. We're all too scared and timid, and they're just rolling out this agenda, and they're the mockers basically. They put it all out there, they put it in movies, and we still don't get it because they're too busy watching the football. Don't get me started on the football. These football in empty stadiums these days. It was the biggest joke ever. Like, Match of the Day was on last night, so I thought, right, I've got a soft spot for Liverpool, because back in the day, Kenny Dalglish, Graham Souness and Alan Hansen, three Scottish players, when they were the best team in Europe, I was a wee laddie. And but they're just getting ready. How can these football players get psyched up when they go out to play in front of an empty stadium? How can the managers and that talk seriously after a game? It's not the same game. It's a total joke. But they're just doing their job. If they've got enough money at this point, some of them should just say, look, fuck it. What is the point of playing for no fans? Imagine one player done that. Just like Marcus Rashford is getting a lot of praise right now for what he's doing for school dinners. I think he should be basically saying, didn't go to school, it's a load of shit. Myself, I would give him more praise for that. But still, he's trying to speak up for poor people, poor kids getting access to their free dinners and stuff. So, but imagine they just said, keep all your money, stick your football up your arse. I'm not playing in front of the fans. I'm not playing because there's no fans there. That's what the game is supposed to be about, isn't it? Not just where the ball goes. Who gives a flying fuck where the ball goes? It's the experience, the whole day out kind of thing. And it's just ridiculous how people are still taking that seriously. And Gary Lineker and blah, blah, blah still sitting on that fucking sofa talking absolute shite. So anyway, I try to tell my son things like this. Maz, do you know, if you're still there, do you know anything about these things? You know, everything in the world's poisonous. These toxins that we take, the medical establishment. There's a book, Maz, What Really Makes You Ill.com. I don't know if you've heard me talk about it. I interviewed Don and David, the authors of the book, and how all these medications for the medical establishment are actually toxins. So even in antiperspirants, when we spray ourselves, we're stopping the sweat. So that's one way to get rid of toxins. So if you use a lot of deodorant, you're keeping all these toxins in your body, and then that will stop you, well, basically make you have the flu more often because you're keeping all the toxins inside you. So, there's lots of things we can learn. We have to totally revamp the idea of health and how we don't wait till we get unhealthy and then take some drug to save us from it. We should work on staying healthy from the start. Doctors should be recommending fresh fruit and vegetables, go for your daily walk and smell and have kisses and hugs and stuff like that, human contact. Joy. Where is the fucking joy gone in the world? See my work, oh my God, it's turning into such a depressing place. All you see is these eyes fucking staring at you above the thing. You can confused, lost souls basically crying out for help but pretending everything's alright, so they'll just keep talking about the Fitball, WWE or whatever. And I'm trying to say, wake up. So nobody wants to hear it, because when you do actually hear these things, it means changing yourself and working on yourself, which not many people want to do. That's the hard part, taking the responsibility, which was my first slide there, yeah? So Emma, are you on? No, okay, so I see one person watching. I thought it was Emma, but maybe it's somebody else. Anyway, so this is the truth about diseases and viruses, yeah? This is probably one by Bob Stagnito. He puts out good little things like this. They were both created. Viruses and diseases do not exist, yeah? Well, virus is a broken down bit of a cell. It sounds really bad, but it's actually quite a harmless thing. They were both created by the pharmaceutical industry, used the flawed germ theory. Complete bollocks, that theory. It's an old theory. It's completely outdated. Real scientists who, true science knows it's a load of crap. We don't catch the cold. We don't catch the flu. But we can sell medicines for monetary gain and population control. Even I heard today that they're going to give a different flu vaccine for over 65s compared to the one for under 65s. And you would think if it's a vaccine, everyone's taking this vaccine every year, but the flu still keeps coming back. So if you can't get rid of the flu, how are you going to get rid of COVID from a vaccine? It's not going to happen, is it? Because there is no COVID. Do you know, they said COVID-19, they had discovered it apparently last year. That's why it's 2019, COVID-19. But there was a patent filed for it in 2015. So it's been around for a wee while longer, you would assume. And so many other things. There's a good Facebook video. I'll maybe put it in the comments after. I guess I could find it now. Could you find that one? Do you know what I'm talking about? Aye, that's right. Aye. So Emma's going to share it, right? So I recommend this video. If you're watching this later, you might have to scroll through the comments from the one person that's watching. But basically, yes, it goes into many, many different things of how this was obviously a plan, because they tell us about it, because that makes them keep their karma, right? If they tell people exactly what they're doing and they're too stupid to figure out, well, it's like, well, we told you, and you're the one that's volunteering for the masks, and, that's why I'm taking the responsibility, saying, no, I'm not wearing a mask. It's on the government website. If this distresses you, you don't have to wear it. Well, it distresses me greatly. So that's that, Ian. If germ theory was correct, there wouldn't be a human alive today. Hello, Mo. I'm surprised to see you here, Mo. I thought you'd be on Andy's Zoom meeting. Now I've told you that, you're probably going to bugger off to it, aye? But yeah, so Andy is the guy who does Andy Barlow, he's the guy that does the practical lawful descent. And Mo was the guy who was on my show a couple of days ago, and he gave me the paperwork about what to say to the company with regard to don't wear a mask. So just to let you know, Mo, I handed in the other paperwork, as I said to you, and the manager's actually saying, basically, well done, it's going to take more like you. He's on my side. So now I'm going to see the nurse tomorrow and kind of make it official how I can get in and out of the factory without spreading the fucking imaginary virus. And I'm going to take in so much paperwork. Well, I'm actually exhausted. I'm pretty tired. I was up at 6 o'clock. And so I really want to print all the stuff off because I've got so much other documents. I need to get a wee folder together of all the different things from like Stefan Lanka and other articles that prove all this is bullshit. Because I want to go into this nurses meeting, and if I start to say the virus isn't real, and they start to say, "Oh, but it is," then I'll pull up my folders and the 3 books I've got in the topic and go, "Well, that says different. Shall we do some trivium? Grammar, logic, and rhetoric, critical thinking, and investigate this subject if you want to go down that route." Because yeah, these people, bosses and whatever, they need to be informed of the truth because they're probably just watching the TV like everyone else. It's pretty awesome, Mo. The other guys at work, I don't think are too impressed with me because I refused to go into the factory and work on a line today with wearing a visor. And they're coming up to me saying, "Why are you not wearing a visor? You can still breathe through the visors." Us boys are wondering that. And I was like, it disturbs me. And I'm not wearing it. So he says, I'm saying, "Why are you wearing it?" He says, "I said they're both uncomfortable." The guy's wearing a mask. He's like, "Oh, Ken, it's part of my job." Well, it's not really part of your job to suffocate yourself, is it? It's part of your job to push trays around and, get the food at the factory, not to fucking suffocate yourself in the process. So I'm not playing that game. And it's truly epic. So yeah, let's finish this one. If germ theory was correct, there wouldn't be a human alive. I mean, if this, like, some of the things I've got there, I've got these plastic curtains. You've seen them, the way they try and separate people. It's just about division, isn't it? Keep us all apart, stop us talking, stop us hugging each other. Just separation, fear, 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 which is going to make us ill in itself if we're vibrating at that frequency. So basically, but isn't going to stop a fucking virus if it was true, is it? This magic bit of curtain is, it's just such a joke how they're putting these ridiculous. To me, they're making it so obvious. It's like, here, come on, we're taking the piss out of you. Are you actually going to wake up? We're putting fucking stupid curtains. Look how ridiculous that is. Has anybody's got a brain to see how fucking inanely fucking dementedly retarded that is? You know what I mean? People are just going along with it. Rubbing fucking cancer hand gel into the thing, into your hands constantly. No thanks. Yeah, I'm waiting for the guys at work to actually, instead of trying to pull me down and say, "Come on, wear your visor and you can still breathe and, you can pack the bags," instead of them pulling me down, I would love it if they all started putting a letter in as well. It would be brilliant because that's what we need. And I was saying that to a couple of them. I was talking to them and explaining these things to one or two that was interested and saying, we need to take responsibility. We all need to stand up against this because this is evil. And if we don't all do it en masse, then it's going to get very much worse. So it takes one person to stand up, I guess, and the rest can follow. I'm hoping they ask me. I'm not sure if they will or not, but it would make me very happy if everyone grew a set of balls, basically, yeah? And yeah, well done for that, Mo. Good stuff. Send out the letters. I said, I hope they ask it for me, yeah? So germs, bacteria, fungus, pathogens, and even viruses, which are not viruses, but are protein-based exosomes. Now, I don't agree with that exosomes theory. I think viruses are just bits of dead cell, And I'm saying that because I've talked to Don and David extensively about it, and they've explained why their opinion differs from Andrew Kaufman and even Thomas Cowan's opinion, and they too believe in the exosomes. But it's up to you what you want to believe. I'm just telling you what I'm going with. Yeah? That's another thing, Mo, yeah? Tell your employer standing under oath. That's what I'll be doing just shortly as well, under the Article 61 Magna Carta. I just have to fill out the first form, and I'm a bit tired. I've got to get through work tomorrow, then I've got a few days off, and I'll be looking into all this stuff greatly. I've printed quite a lot of stuff off about it, so rather than read it on the computer, you know. But basically, it's full steam ahead with that right now. Because I think everybody should get on the Article 61. That's what I told the guy at work. Two guys. I wrote both of them down. What really makes you.com, practical lawful dissent. Get fucking on it, you know? And if they see me walking around without a mask, maybe they'll say, oh, maybe he knows something, and I'm not just a fucking raving lunatic, you know? Because when I was wearing a mask before, I can say to them, it distressed me greatly. Just look in the video cameras from the days when you told me to wear a mask, and you'll see me throwing trays around for 10 minutes. And every time I threw a tray, everyone would go, whoa! And I was fucking, oh! Can't hold it in because it's insane. So anyway, we've got all these viruses going around our body. Diseases are the toxicity in our body. All these different diseases, we give different names. It's just different symptoms of the toxic body that we have. And children have like childhood diseases, and mostly on the skin because they've not had the chance to go deeper yet. But as you get as an adult, you get other things, and that is because we keep putting toxins in our body. It's ridiculous the amount of crap and shite we eat and sitting in front of computers all the time. You can, and EMFs everywhere. So yeah. Anyway, you can read that. The flu is just the body detoxifying. Yeah, the only way you can catch a virus is if they inject it into you. And we don't really want to be going needles. And who injects it into you? Well, it's people like these guys, isn't it? Yeah, the nice guys who murder babies and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people say, oh, they would never do that, they would never do that. But there's a lot of people that say that they do it, and there's many, many witnesses to these things. And that Tony B. Liar there, basically, people are wanting to hang him for treason because he was the one that even tried to stop the Article 61. He tried to get rid of it. It came into force in 2001 when we done the Nice Treaty and went into Europe and opened our borders up to Islam, basically. And it was a treasonous thing. So the Queen was taken down and the government was dissolved, essentially. So we've been under no government since 2001. I know this sounds pretty mental. I'm still getting to grips with myself. I suggest you go into the Practical Lawful Dissent Facebook group. I think they're going to maybe have to get a website or something soon, because I'm quite surprised Facebook are letting the group grow so quickly without cutting it down, because they pretend to be your friend. That's what Facebook was all about, friends, wasn't it? In fact, I'm live on Facebook now. Thank you very much, Facebook. I appreciate this opportunity, and I hope you continue to let me speak out. I think some people get a bit belligerent, and that's not a good energy. So I'm trying to stay in honour and truth and do the right thing and be like Jesus. If you imagine, what would Jesus do? Ask yourself that quite a lot and start living like that. I think the world would be a better place. Mo here saying he went to local town centre on Saturday. It was like Zombie Nation. He felt like Morpheus walking down the street. They all partied. Oh yeah, you weren't on the show yesterday, I think, Mo. I'm not sure. Did you see it? Because I was saying I was with Emma in Tesco's, and we weren't wearing a mask. Everyone else was. I think there was one girl that didn't. My sister just came out. I met her in the car park. She's not wearing a mask, so well done, Emma. Emma Louise, my sister. Emma, my girlfriend. But anyway, in with Emma. 4 young people walking down the aisle, and me and Emma walked right in the middle, so there's 2 either side of us, and 2 of them at each end, they stuck their head into the shelf to try and make sure they didn't breathe in any of our virus-ridden breath. It was pretty bad. I never seen it, Emma seen that, but I did see them fucking shocked that somebody was actually walking around maskless, It's so cruel what they're doing to the children, isn't it? Some people say that, this is all part of the plan and we have to let the evil show itself so people can see. Yeah. This is something that I downloaded. I just get these memes, and I upload them here and then see what comes up and talk about them. But this one I was going to send to Emma. Do you like this one? Have you seen it? Not all men are only interested in sex. Yeah, some men actually want you to hug them and tell them that you believe them when they talk about reptilians and ancient bases on the moon. That's your dream bird right there. Aye. uh, so basically, Emma was quite naive to all this. We were just talking today, actually. In fact, it was a year ago today. We were in this place called Kirkcaldy. No? Oh, that's right. When did they say about the Kirkcaldy? All right, all right. Glasgow were at a gig a year ago today. Tomorrow Syndicate, Glasgow band. But anyway, we were in Kirkcaldy not long after we first met, and she mentioned Halloween, and I was like, I fucking hate Halloween. And she's like, what? Halloween? How can you hate Halloween? Such a great, celebration. Oh, I get all the fucking everyone dressing as demons and focusing on all that, Uh, yeah, awesome. I must say, Mo, right? Today, oh, I'm not saying I'm happy to be at work, right? But it was such an epic feeling, just so good. Just kind of taking that bit of power back and just saying, no, I'm not doing it. I'm just, that's what I said to the guy. Which I says, look, at the end of the day, I can't remember what I said, at the end of the day, I'm not doing it. Okay? So, you can do what you want, but I'm not playing that game. And it was just such a good feeling. And I'm looking forward to the Article 61 stuff as well, so that I can start rebooting all their bullshit. It's just criminals. These guys are criminals. With this niche treaty thing, we've got a duty to stand up against tyranny and treason, and that's what's going on. So it's not like we're doing the wrong thing. We're trying to stand up in law and stop all these bullshit legal dictates that these guys just dream up to basically siphon money off us, and be the parasites, But we were the black sheep, us lot. Well, the two that are on here just now, anyway, which is me, Mo, and Emma. You on? Aye. No, not even Emma. So Maz, you might still be here. Anyway, you were the black sheep for a reason. Now it's time to step into a larger role that this phase was preparing you for. I've been, just different. Do you any of you guys have ever felt just different from the rest of humanity? All your life, I've kind of been the outsider or the weird one or the crazy one and stuff, And it's quite hard to deal with society and people in general when you're not like them, I think everyone should be an individual and we've all got that potential, but I guess somehow naturally some people don't get the programming like other ones do. Basically because maybe they don't immerse themselves in TV for 16 hours a day. Maybe that was it, because I watched the odd TV programs that were growing up, like Fawlty Towers or the Young Ones or whatever, Blackadder, maybe a bit of the Bill when I was younger. When it was good, I think I got shit the Bill. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. There's certain programs, but I wouldn't sit all night and just flick the channel and just absorb TV like it was like, nothing else. And especially, I got rid of my TV a long time ago. With the internet, you can do your own research. So why let shite into your brain? You have to be very careful of the consciousness, the things you let into your consciousness. A guy at work today said to me, yeah, if you keep telling me I'm stupid for 3 days, maybe after 3 days I'll believe it. That's what the television does. I was like, yep, you're 100% correct, mate. 100% correct. Yeah, that's what I've felt like, Mo. You just wonder, surely everyone must feel different, but I don't think they do. I think they like safety in numbers, I don't know. It just seems to be there's certain people who are just that little bit eccentric. That's what I like. The crazy ones, the folk on the edge, the artists, the wild ones. Those are with a passion for life. I've always had that kind of zest for doing things, and experimenting. And I don't think we've only got one life. I think we can reincarnate, but I've only got one life as Billy Watson. This body will die. So have some fun, spread some joy, have some experiences, do something that you can tell a story at the end of it for, instead of just sitting on your arse. That's what I feel so sad about the kids these days when they're all just on their phone. Like the lockdown didn't change anything for them. They just sat there just as normal. Oh well, fucking scrolling away. Aye. So, and that. Oh, did you see the thing? Emma sent the link earlier on, yeah, to the post about how COVID's definitely a scam. It talks about the microchip and that, and I've actually it does mention the number. I think it is 60606 or something like that for one of the codes, either for that or for the vaccine or something. I can't remember exactly, but it's like they're telling us, they're shoving it right in our face, and people still don't see it. So it's up to us to see it. Evil's playing its part by being as evil as possible. We have to play our part by being as good as possible, and then not tolerate it. Try for a better world. This world could be so different. We don't actually understand how they have manipulated this reality and controlling their perceptions to lock us into this reality. Maybe if we all were free, it'd be a much more fluid, magical place. Who knows? Like when you take an acid trip or some magic mushrooms or ayahuasca or DMT, it's like the world becomes like you can see the energy everywhere. It's much more alive and vibrant. So maybe if we're not all fear based and that's locking us down into the base chakra and keeping us in that state, maybe if we raised our consciousness up, we would actually see, I don't know, angelic beings or who, you know what I mean, other things rather than this humdrum reality. And that's the problem with TV and even especially the internet. Lots of children these days don't think the real world's as exciting as their phone because they can travel around the world and do all these things, watch people eat hot chilies in their phone, live vicariously and have these experiences through others and videos of them instead of actually going and doing them themselves. So let's see what Mo's saying. The lady who played June, the blonde officer, well, her daughter is that singer girl, Adele, no? What's your feeling on the banning of the sale of baby clothes, etc. in Wales? Well, oh, God. Yeah, I've seen them. It's just insane. To me, they're just keep on, as I said to you just now, they're showing us how evil they are. I mean, it's not like you're banning old people's clothes. We don't grow. Babies are going to grow. And they need to. Somebody was saying it's like if we've got a baby shop and they can't sell their stuff, then why is it fair that Tesco or whatever can sell the baby clothes? So I don't know if that's part of the reason, but to me they're just fucking with us. They're showing us who they are. Like if we behave like they do, we'd all get arrested. So it's up to us to grow a set of balls. The guy went in there, didn't he? One guy in Wales and took all the things down. Well done, that guy. That's what it's required. Somebody to say, fuck this shit. What he's doing? These are clothes. What's that got to do with a virus? It's absolutely just 100% bollocks, isn't it? Was he charged, aye? But you see, if he was standing under Article 61, what could they do? What I guess there was a little bit of harm. Well, all he was doing was removing the plastic sheeting. What harm is in that? Who's the injured party? None. But it's the legal side of it again, isn't it? So that's why we need to get smart. And again, if you are getting smart with these things in Article 61, we don't want to go into like a rebellious attitude where we're causing disturbance of the peace and we're causing, you know what I mean? We don't want to be belligerent and violent and animalistic. We're doing this to kind of raise our consciousness up and treat each other like our own neighbour and, stand up for righteousness. And that is the right thing to do. So it requires some responsibility and not just fuck the government and anarchy. I mean, the idea of anarchy, they put the word anarchy, we think is like fighting against the government, but the true definition of anarchy is like no government. Again, people governing themselves, and then we don't need external government. We can write our own contracts. We can form our own uh, things. Yeah, we've definitely got to remain peaceful. We've got to like, some people are calling for the heads of Tony Blair or Obama or whoever, and it's like to me they were still showing the same bloodthirsty, you know, eh, mindset that they've all got. We have to kind of rise above that. Every life is precious. Even these guys' lives, obviously, there's a demon in them. they need to be put away so they can't do any harm. But to go after them and want to kill them, well, that's debatable. Maybe the fact that the law does now stand that hanging is legit in this country, and if you're going to be treasonous against the people, maybe you do deserve to hang. I'm not desperate to see people hang. I'm just desperate that we sort out this place and start to love and care for each other, not just your own family, because we're very much brainwashed in that look after your own, take care of your own. We're all one big human family. And if there's certain elements within that who is like a cancer, well, then they need to be taken out and quarantined, as far as I'm concerned, to stop them infecting the rest of us until they can learn how to live properly. So we have to remain vigilant for the side of good, not tolerate the evil, but not want to like punish and cause harm and violence, you know. But there's other ways to teach and kind of not reform, but you know, make somebody overcome their negative traits and teach them that if you're actually nice to people, people will be nice back to you and you'll be much happier. Because I have such a great world here. There's a good movie called The Green Beautiful. You ever heard of that one? Uh, Basically, it's kind of set like the Earth, like 1,000 years from now, and they've been through the process that we've been through, and they've seen it for what it is. So they don't even have music on their planet, because even music can be a spell, you know. All this great pop music and stuff. There's so many spells in that. Have you ever heard of a guy called John Todd? He was in the music industry. Some talks of him on YouTube. He actually disappeared. He was talking about David Crosby being a witch and how they used to get the master tapes and do a magic spell, black magic spell on the master tapes of all these albums and then send them out everywhere with the spell on them. And then there was a movie, Josie and the Pussycats, and how they were putting subliminal messages and no doubt black magic spells on the CDs and stuff. And that was quite a revealing movie. So yeah, these things are used against us, and we worship almost all these like Bono and all these fucking cunts who pretend they're on the side of good, but they're really working for the elite establishment. So there's Mo saying you've got a gallows very close to you. Coombe Gibbet, is it still up in the town square? Aye, you got your apples ready. Aye, who was I talking about there just now? Mo saying my brain's fucking wired to the moon. Uh, Aye, remind me who I said there. What was I talking about? Because you've got. Oh yeah, John Todd. That was right, John Todd. I think it's like that, John Todd. If you look up that and just say like 60s music, you know, witchcraft and stuff like that. He does some brilliant talks, and he's very much into Jesus. He was, you know, he was like in the record industry. He was a music producer, and then when he discovered that all of this satanic stuff was going on in the music industry, he became a big believer in Jesus and Christianity. But ultimately, he just disappeared. So who actually knows what happened? Because once you join their gang, it's quite hard to get yourself out of it. You know what I mean? So there's the old birth certificate, the thing that. So that gallows is still standing up there, eh? If you're out there one day, take a picture of it, Mo. Send us that. I'd be quite interested to see that. But yeah, the birth certificate, when you're born, your parents registered you with the government. I wouldn't have done that, except my son was born in Mallorca, and basically my ex-wife had cancer not long after he was born, and we had to get a flight. And the only way we could get a flight, or so I thought at the time, I never actually knew this, was I thought we have to get him a passport, so a birth certificate to get a passport to get out of Germany, Mallorca. And then we had to fly to Germany and fly to Turkey. That's why I said Germany. Dusseldorf we went to. Anyway, so the birth certificate, your parents register with the government as a corporation by receiving and signing a birth certificate. Then and this is all traded on the stock market for millions of pounds, and they'll play a big game gambling over if we're going to get cancer or how we're going to live and stuff like that, you know? It's outrageous what goes on behind our backs, you know? Oh, the cattle prod ready, aye? Bear spear, yeah. A bear spear. Quite interesting. We might need to stand at our door with them in case they try and come and get us, yeah? In case the aliens come. But even the aliens watching, I've got a book coming out, Screwy Scribbles, yeah, and then a wee bit of that talk about, imagine aliens looking at Earth, so anyway, there's a wee skip about that, but here's something else. Did you catch a new episode of Earth? Yeah, this season is crazy, man. Yeah, this it is fucking absolutely insane. Does it not hurt your head? It just the insanity of this fucking Bill Gates character, eh? Bill Gates. This was in 2011, I think. That date there. It's definitely quite a while back. And then it's like depopulation through forced vaccination. It doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to vaccinate to save lives, but you're depopulating. Hold on a minute, Bill. I think you've got that in arse for tit. And look at that Bill Gates there, right? Does that not look different than the Bill Gates that's going around these days? To me, his face is longer. The Bill Gates these days, his face is a bit more squishy. And I'm sure his voice is a bit more. Beyond Spot. Take a picture of that, Mo. Show us that. What the fuck are you doing with a bear spear, by the way? Is there many bears down your way? Is this just your hobby? Bear hunting? I've seen a few bears out at the fucking local disco on a Friday night, right enough, so maybe you're trying to spear one of them to take home with you, aye? Well, we call some woman, she's a bit of a bear, you can. Wouldn't mess with her. Yeah, in the practical lawful descent, the guy mentions, Andy mentions the movie Robin Hood. I've actually downloaded it. I'm not got around to watching it yet, but they talk about the Sheriff of Nottingham and stuff like this. And yeah, I agree, mate, Mo. It's definitely not the original Bill Gates. Emma was saying yesterday, I don't know if you caught the show, but apparently the original Bill Gates and his wife were murdered in India for vaccinating and therefore murdering lots of children. So they got revenge, apparently. There's a news story. I think he posted the link. Yeah. So if you look at yesterday's show, or the information she posted, she found it somewhere on the internet. So, if you want higher taxes, you're the sheriff. Yeah, people want that. Taxes more. Taxes more to pay for the roads. Taxes more for this. Taxes, fucking hell. They're so desperate for their own enslavement, aren't they? If you think government is the answer, you aren't Jesus, you're Tiberius. Yeah? It's just pretty bad out there. People love, or just are so like this, they just love this bullshit. Oh, I'm going to shut that down. Didn't mean, where am I? Oh, I'm up here. Right, just shut a couple of things down here. Let's hide that in. And hide that one. Yeah, I don't wear my mask for me, I wear it for you, darling. Yeah, don't drag me into your psychosis because it's absolutely insane. After 8 months, if you haven't figured out that the government's lying to you over this, then what does the government need to do? What does Bojo? I mean, they even done the 2000 and yeah, I think I stole that one from you, Mo. Aye, so all's fair in love and war, mate. Aye, but basically, yeah, I quite like that one. It just shows this virtue signaling. Oh, I'm doing it for you. No, you're not. You're dragging us down to the pits of hell. So keep me out of your fucking little game. You know what I mean? I don't play that game. I mean, let's get some examples of what humanity is actually fucking doing these days, and it just makes the brain boggle. It makes it totally boggle like it's never boggled before. Take a look at this. What the fuck's going on there? Is this people think the virus is that? What, if the virus is that deadly, why aren't we seeing people dropping down in the street? You know what I mean? Why aren't we seeing ambulances running everywhere and fucking, uh, hooses and alarms going off? Oh no, another one's died of the COVID. Fucking hell! Quick, if that was the case, if I thought this virus was remotely dangerous and a mask helped at all in the slightest, I'd be quite happy to stick it on. But I used my brain and it quickly deducted this is fucking bullshit, and then investigated further. And every bit of my investigation since then has just proven that it's fucking even more fucking insane than I first thought. And I'm proving that I'm right in what I'm saying, and there is no virus. There's no such thing. It's fairy dust, unicorns farting, whatever you want to call it. And people walking around with a dog like that, the wee dog said, fuck me, I thought this was a good owner, they're obviously fucking insane. Get me the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Here's another one, right? There's people actually going around like this. They're putting plastic fucking 5 litre bottles over their head. Look at that! How could you possibly go out in public like that? It's ridiculous. Well, you're not, LJ, you're not high risk. Nobody's, I know what you're saying, according to them you're high risk, but nobody's at risk from a fictitious virus that, doesn't exist. And even if it did, it can't travel through air. There's viruses in our body, but they're just dead cell debris. We call them a virus, which sounds pretty scary, but it's totally harmless. Yeah. Oh, I'm tired, as I say. I'm forcing my way through this one, but anyway, thanks for hanging in there, guys. I'm going to show you some more examples of this because it's just bananas, isn't it? It's just absolutely insane. Look, there's another one there. The guy in the supermarket, fucking plastic bottle. Maybe that'd be quite good fun actually. That could be quite good an idea. We buy plastic bottles from the thing. Maybe we should cut them out for a laugh. Just go to Tesco like that. Aye. We should buy bags and just fucking dress up as fucking, like Halloween astronauts, like with cheap fucking plastic over us, walking to Tesco's just to see people's reaction, just for the giggles, shits and giggles. I think that could be quite a good laugh. Take some pictures of us walking down the aisle, fucking with that on us, eh? Oh, aye, mockery. The government mocks us, so we should mock the people who fucking listen to the actual government. Well, the so-called government, they're just a service corporation, and like McDonald's or Burger King, essentially, they have no real power. It's only the power that we give them. Look at this. That's unreal. Aye. And people probably go, oh, look at her. She's well protected from the virus. Isn't she a clever one? I showed another picture of this cat, but somebody else seems to have got a picture of the same cat walking around. Eh? Look at this. We're just like, hello, Steve, good to see you there, yeah? Oh, it's insane, isn't it? The lady inside, dressed up inside Tesco bags. I've never seen that one. I've got a few, as I say, I grabbed these quickly just before coming online tonight. And yeah, it just defies, your brain hurts when you think about what's going on inside their head to actually do that, yeah? It's absolutely insane. So anyway, that's enough examples of retarded human beings. You feel sorry for these people. Don't get me wrong. I do have compassion, I do have empathy. I actually feel for them pretty bad to get themselves in a state like that. Is fucking hell. Where do you need to be? You just watch way too much television. She's actually got a mask on underneath that plastic bottle. She's actually going around in a train like that. It's unreal, isn't it? LJ, I was saying the other day, maybe this is some kind of test, from God or whatever. Are you worthy of a human body? Because if you're going to go around like that, well, I'm sorry, but fuck me, you failed. I think you need to go back on the evolutionary scale and start with being an ant again. You know what I mean? And then work your way up through the levels of consciousness. I think that's what. Well, I don't know. We assume we're more intelligent than animals and stuff, But for instance, the cats at my work, they'll get close to humans. They'll come up and look for some food, but you try and give it to them, they'll back off till you throw it down, and then they'll chase after it because they're quite clever. Because humans can't really be trusted, can they? Is that you going? LJ? Thanks for hanging around, and we'll catch you next time. Please do tune in again. Because basically, I'm here as long as you guys keep turning up. If you lose interest in me waffling the same shite, well, fair dues. I'm not, doing this just for my own pleasure. I'm trying to, I don't know, give you guys a bit of feeling that you're not alone in this insanity. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to shut this stuff down. Right. So what's this one? The Holocaust was legal. Hiding Jews was criminalised. Slavery was legal. Freeing slaves was criminalised. Segregation was legal. Protesting, yeah. Legality is certainly not a guide to morality, is it? All right, cool. Thanks, LJ. You're still hanging in here. We've got another 10 minutes left. Steve is saying he struggles to hold back when an old friend says they are just finishing off cleansing their shopping. Oh my god! It's even in the Tesco's the other day. I noticed now that they've started to, when you type in when you put your PIN number in, that they have to wipe that down afterwards. It's just gone to insane levels. Like, bacteria is actually a good thing. The world would be a fucking shit show if it wasn't back. Well, first of all, nobody would be here. But you know, bacteria is there. It's like a waste disposal. It cleans up waste. So we shouldn't go around everywhere spraying antibacterial shit. It's quite a normal thing. Obviously, there's like germ theory that's not been proven, but terrain theory is legit. So obviously, we keep things clean. You know, we watch your environment, keep a clean environment. Don't live in squalor. But you didn't need to go over the top and fucking put this fucking antibacterial shit everywhere. You know what I mean? This chemical crap. Aye. So there's always, yeah, we need bacteria, exactly. We need viruses. Well, we don't need viruses. Viruses are just part of life, but there's billions of them in our body, so, you know, we shouldn't be too scared of them, really. And there's no such thing as a pathogen, it's a microorganism. So it's just old science. It's old science that's outdated. We've here you go. Was it Steve you were saying there? You struggle to hold back. Here's one for you. You know that thing inside your head that keeps you from saying stuff you probably shouldn't? Yeah. Well, mine's broken. I can't help it. You know, I'm actually getting a bit better. When this was kicking off quite a while ago, I was shouting at Tesco quite a lot. I'm trying to calm it down, and especially now, Mo. I think you'll probably find this. You maybe mentioned it to me. Once you take your power back over the mask in the Article 61, well, then the other people's insanity, it's up to them. You've took your power back, and so it's their choice, really. Yeah. LJ, our immune system works fine. Well, this is another myth. We don't actually have an immune system. What we have got is a health system. So if you put healthy stuff into your body, then you will stay healthy. If you toxify your body, then you're going to get ill. There's no immune system that springs into action. Like if you have a vaccination, then these antibodies, so-called immune system, form an army of little antibodies ready to come when the real illness happens. You know, it's a complete myth. There is no such thing as an immune system, but it's one of these things that's dripped, that fed. You have an immune system, keep you. What it actually means is stay healthy, wash properly, and eat the right foods, eat organic stuff. I think Mo, Mo's quite a bit far advanced. I want to get back on the show, Mo, actually, to talk more again about the health things, because I think you're quite good with even the clothes that we wear. If you wash these in all these washing up liquids and whatever you put in the washing machine, that's toxic as well. So you put them on your body, and then that goes through the skin. So we should even shampoos and stuff like that. We should maybe get olive soap and things. You know, you can wash your hair with that and basically stay organic and as natural as possible. Because think about it, the Garden of Eden is like paradise, isn't it? And all this other shit we've got flying around us is concrete jungle, as Bob Marley would say. And we have stepped well away from the natural world, which is what we were created to live in. Yeah? Yeah, I got some good feedback from you on the show the other night, Mo. So definitely, you know, we'll get you back on. I actually talked to Stephen D. Kelly about your Orgone thing. I was mentioning that to him about the Orgone Tower and how you cleared the chemtrails. And he was basically saying that that's a bit like playing God with the weather, you know, and it could have some bad side effects. It's bad enough they're playing God, but we're going to do it as well. But he did agree with the fact that he actually showed me he carries a bit of organ on his keyring. So anyway, we talk a little bit about that subject in my latest Stephen D. Kelly interview, yeah? So there, buy some more organic bio clothes wash yesterday, yeah? The thing is, when you do eat healthy food or you do the organic stuff, it is much better. It's much better than the fake stuff, because that's what Lucifer and Satan's world, isn't it? It's all fake. It's all imitation. It's not the real thing. So basically, it's not good because the archons and stuff, they're just trying to create this fake bullshit world, and yeah, we should be running like fuck from it. Aye. So, but instead, we're trying to tell people, eat healthily, but just for saying that, just for even saying you're a vegan or don't, it's got a bad label, that word vegan. If you say I eat plants only, you get called a loony. Oh, you got to eat your protein. Go eat your fucking dead cow's ass. Ken, go to get some of that fucking good cow's ass, don't you? Stick a couple of fucking bits of lettuce on it. That's your fucking healthy salad. Apparently, some lettuces as well. I think there's like maybe one or two lettuces that are not bad for you, but basically, lettuce is not good. You should eat spinach, kale, and these types of things. Even wheat. We eat lots of bread, and there's a book called Wheat Belly, and it used to be called The Devil's Grain wheat, but they just made it popular for the common man to eat because they know it's not very healthy and they want to keep us ill, essentially, yeah, and disempowered. Yeah, more fruit, no meat and processed foods, exactly, yeah. That's right. The veggie stuff. Well, first of all the vegetables in the supermarkets are all sprayed with hundreds of pesticides and stuff like that. Yeah, so they're not the best condition, and the soil is very much damaged. So all the organic stuff should be grown in good soil, so the nutrients from the good soil go into the plant, the food, and then we take those nutrients into us. Like hemp is actually quite a good plant to grow because it kind of does put nutrients back into the soil, yeah? So, for instance, all this paper we're making, we're cutting down rainforests to make paper for cutting down trees, but for this, you don't need to do that. You could get like an acre or whatever put, because you can, hemp paper is even better paper, and then you have like two fields. You grow your hemp one year, then you crop it, and then plant the seeds, and then the next year you get the other field, and you kind of do that year after year, just 1 year off, 1 year on, and the soil gets very much revitalized doing that, yeah. And yeah, this is the kind of things we need to learn about. We actually need to start growing our own food. I think that's quite important because anytime Tesco's and all that selling the shit food, it's still better than no food. But we could be in quite a precarious position because we've lost all this knowledge of simply Monsanto basically say they want to control the whole food supply. That's what they said at one time. Yeah, yeah. Raw kale causes gallstones. I didn't know that, Steve. So thanks for putting that one out there. Don't overdo it. Yeah. Again, all this knowledge should be widely available. Well, basically, we should know it as people. We should be in tune with the land, with nature, with the animals. Like at my work, they made us sign a form not to feed the cats. Well, to me, that's going against your basic humanity. These cats are staring at me like that. And the kind that there's like tons of fucking prawns and stuff in these food, the amount of food that gets thrown out is unreal. And basically, yeah, they know it's in there. So what are you going to do? You're a human being. There's an animal there. You care. That's what they have at Bohemian Grove, isn't it? It's called the cremation of care. All these elites, so-called elites, turn up there and they have a big ceremony to a 40-stone fucking owl called Moloch, who they used to do or still do sacrificial rituals to, and they burn up their care, so they don't care. They have a cremation of care. Well, that's fucking disgusting, isn't it? We should be caring for each other. I am he as you are me, and we are one, and we are all together. Aye. As somebody once said. Aye. So anyway, basically, our humanity should be in touch with the animals. The animals shouldn't be scared of us. The cats should be coming up to us, and we should be stroking them. You get healing from that, don't you? The cats, I think, if you're in a room and there's like one person maybe inside feeling bad or got some difficulties, you'll tend to find the cat will go to that person and allow themselves to be stroked because it's like a healing thing. The cat can sense the energy. Yeah. So you've talked about this Ayurveda before, Mo. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe ask you about that. Emma doesn't like it when people say you can get healed from diabetes because she's obviously got diabetes and lives with it pretty much. And you said you can heal through that. She had a wee look. She's still not found anyone who has been cured from type 1 diabetes from any method. So if you can find any evidence of that whatsoever, we would be quite interested to look at it, yeah? So, yeah, if you have to call someone a conspiracy theorist, yeah, this is so lame, isn't it? We're just getting called this, oh, tinfoil hat wearers. You send them they say, oh, the virus is coming to get you. So you send them a link to say, check this out. They don't look at it for one single second. They just immediately come back, oh, it's a tinfoil hat wearer. So you're basically not doing any critical thinking whatsoever, eh? Yeah, of course, Mo, 100%. I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying we've never seen the evidence. So that's why I'm saying, can you find any and send it our way, pal? That's all. And because obviously, if Emma's taking basically injections 5 times a day, and somebody says, you can cure yourself from that, it would be good to see that somebody else has done it before because it's hard. It must be hard being a diabetic and constantly monitoring yourself. Fucking hell. And again, we think it could have been caused through a vaccination. So again, the establishment fucking with us. Yeah. So what's this, LJ? Hillary sacrificed chickens to Moloch. Yeah. Fucking her husband's ball sack. That looks like a fucking chicken. She'd sacrifice that to Moloch. Steve Walker takes Shiliat Ayurvedic. I'm not very up to speed in this Ayurvedic stuff. Can't even say it right, obviously. So yeah, it's pretty bad, Mo. I mean, she deals with it quite well, all things considered. But like most diabetics, I think they go through phases with it, especially in the early years, like where they can't tolerate it. So sometimes you're feeling all right, she's feeling all right, and all of a sudden her blood will start to drop, and she's got to go up in the middle of the night and eat, what are they called, Haribos and stuff like that. Stuff she doesn't really want to eat, but it's like a quick sugar injection so she can stabilize until she eats something that's got a bit longer lasting and stuff. It's it's a hard thing to watch. We think we can complain about stuff sometimes, but some people are living incredibly difficult lives. Something that popped into my mind was I watched a television show where it had somebody living with somebody that had Tourette's syndrome, and that looked like one hellish household to be part of. Oh my god, pretty bad. Anyway, what's this? Surely that is awesome. Strengthening the spader after spine op. Yeah, this stuff is amazing. We need to really get on this case, don't we? In fact, I need to get this tribe thing on the go. I've got this Billy Watson tribe. Let me put the fucking thing in here. Let's see if I can get the tribe. I think some of you guys are already members. We should start putting you know, this health knowledge in there and having a wee thing. If you just want to sign up to it, here's the link. Let's basically maybe start to go in there and communicate a bit more in there, and all these things we could have like different. It's just like Facebook, we could have different groups to talk about things like health and whatnot, 5G or whatever. Yeah. Well, customers don't like it if they're controlled by the elite, and it does good for us. So we can't have that, can we? So anyway, we're getting through this. Here's what the world's come to these days, eh? Fucking hell. There's a policeman on hand to charge you for fucking touching somebody, eh? It's absolutely insane. I quite like that meme. That was quite a good one. But it's bananas. All these policemen, they're standing in their uniforms and, arrested people. The guy Robert Sproul got arrested in Glasgow yesterday for speaking and trying to educate people. It's so disgusting, isn't it? Let's see this one. Yeah. Imagine, you get the normies listening to us talk, yeah, about some of the stuff that us crazy people talk about. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling these guys at work, they must think I'm absolutely bananas. But then, if I'm not going to be wearing a mask, maybe they'll think, oh, maybe he's onto something after all. We have to lead by example, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, put these things into this tribe. Let's maybe kick this up a bit. I've just had it sitting in the background because I've been trying to edit my book and I'm doing tons of other shit and a full time job and all that, you know? And yeah, but it's sitting there, and you never know. Anytime Facebook can go down. So if we've got our own wee community going, and we'd be free of arseholes, anyone starts being a dick, they get told to, they get one warning, you know, basically shape up or ship out. You know, that's your hubby thinks you're off your head. My first wife, basically, she had lots of mental health issues, and I think a lot of them was caused by me telling her the Queen was a reptile and stuff like that. Not to mention the acid I gave her, but anyway, it's another story. But yeah, it's quite hard to live with someone who's in the matrix. Obviously, you know, I'm not saying I'm sure you're getting quite well. It's probably some topics you're best not talking about. But I just think, you know, if Emma was ignorant to this stuff, right, in the large scale because she never looked into it, didn't get the opportunity to be exposed to it. But as before the lockdown, I had a few months of me kind of, I would dip into a wee video here, a wee video there, and she was kind of getting to grips with it. And then she would start to see stuff herself that I'd showed her in a video. She'd start to notice and come back to me. If she didn't do that, I don't think we'd be together, you know, because especially these days, imagine living with a masky. I just think it'd be hard. Somebody's buying this stuff. So anyway, it must be frustrating for you when you can see the fucking stuff, yeah? You can see it. Yeah, it's literally different worlds. You look at the people that are believing this nonsense that's flying around, and you just wonder what planet they're on. You know, just how can they not see it? It's just like there's a force field around them that they can't actually perceive straight up reality. It's just they believe the program or they're just programmed themselves. So again, love and compassion for these people, empathy, and hopefully one day it'll be like 100th monkey syndrome and all these things will become self-evident. So yeah, we'll leave it on this one, I think, because we've rambled on a bit, and yeah, I'm a bit tired. But anyway, the subconscious mind, that's what I was saying earlier. Excuse me. We have to be very careful what we let into our reality. So the television is obviously pure evil coming out of that thing. And remember the Rick Mail? There's a wee clip of him on YouTube, isn't there, where he talks to the camera and says, "Be careful. You don't know who are the people controlling the television, you know." And then he made that movie. Was it called One or One by One or something like that? Anyway, the movie about 9/11, and then he died not long after, coincidentally enough. So be careful what you put into your mind. Your subconscious, that's what it does. It just programs the subconscious. So then you have these ideas that you think are your own, but it's actually the BBC or whatever's put them there, yeah? It's a very fertile garden, our subconscious, which is why they work on it in such a big way. The news was giving you the news on one level, the conscious level. You take that, thinking you understand stuff, but subconsciously they're programming lots of stuff in there. Mo is saying here, diabetes is a metabolic cap fat type of disorder in which diminished functioning of ANGI, digestive fire, leads to a tendency towards high blood sugar. Is this type 1 and type 2? You know the difference, yeah? I'm sure you do, Mo, don't get me wrong, but basically Emma's got type 1, which is not the one that you kind of develop. It's, well, she got it suddenly, but, you know, lots of people these days can not eat a little bit of sugar and stuff and manage it easier, but her one's quite serious, you know. So anyway, we can talk about that later. Maybe again get you on the show and you can tell us all about these different herbs and whatnot. It's very interesting stuff, all this, yeah? I did think you meant normies there, LJ. That's cool, Mo. Good. Again, any info you've got on that stuff, and we'll get you on and talking about it. Good stuff, this. Because ultimately, I'm not here to try and fight the government. I want a revolution of consciousness. You know, I want an awakening and healing. Humanity has been tortured and abused to such an extent we don't know our arse from our elbow, and the only way out of this thing is to work with nature, work together, and heal ourselves, each other, and the world, you know, and work towards positive life instead of death, which the death cult of this world is all about, which I'm sure you all know, yeah? All 4 listeners out there. We'll give you another one of the fucking normies. Talking of normies, LJ, here's another one. Hi. Look at this fucking hell. They look like a toffee apple there, don't they? Fucking that in their head. What else we got? Copper water also helps. Copper vessel overnight. Okay. Yep. Normies think we're brainwashed. Yeah. You're telling me, Steve, it must be hard. Steve's actually getting quite into Jesus these days, so they're probably calling you a Jesus freak in that as well, yeah? The new normal. This is what it's all about. Fucking take the vaccine and shut the fuck up. Well, anyway, I've told my work I'm not playing their visor game, their mask game. I like to breathe. I can't do it. I would rather, die in a forest of hunger than be subservient to evil at the end of the day. And I think we all need that kind of moral stance to fight the evil. Not fight, like that, but just to turn our attention towards positivity so that evil becomes obsolete, irrelevant, whatever you want to call it. I've got a couple of more memes here. Just fire them off. Let's see what they are. Get this. Yeah, the asymptomatic one. People still believe it. It's completely crazy. It's like I've got a disease, but I'm not actually showing any symptoms for it. You know what I mean? It's fucking insane. Don't talk bollocks. If you've got an illness and there's a virus in you that supposedly causes this illness, then you will be showing symptoms of the illness. You know what I mean? Yeah, hopefully more and more people are starting to see that it's all bollocks, LJ. Do you want to tell us your real name or are you just happy getting called LJ? I would never go to a concert like that. I mean, for fuck's sake, get a grip. That's not what music's all about. What would happen? I remember going to the Edinburgh Playhouse and everybody jumping down the front, yeah, rock on. Then it turned into fucking health and safety, sit in your seats and totally killed the atmosphere. It's so bad. Anyway, that's been the show for tonight. Hope you've enjoyed that one. Steve Magner's left a video testimonial, so if any of you guys want to jump in, I was actually trying to load it up at the start, but I'll play it to you tomorrow. If any of you guys want to do that, evideoagency.com/Billy Watson, or go to Billy Watson TV actually, and you can click the widget there. Laura, cool Laura, call you that for no one. That's cool. All information on the diabetes, especially, much obliged. It would be awesome, so good if we could, even just help Emma get better slowly over time. It would make such a difference in her life and mine too, because then I wouldn't have to listen to her fucking whine Joan about it. You can blah 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 blah. Nah, she's not like that. She's a wee star for putting it, for doing it. Hats off to her. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. We'll look into this fucking tribe. I've got a few days off next week, so I'll try and get that set up and encourage us all in there, and I'll start posting in there and we can talk about it, stuff in there. It'd be quite cool to have our own wee place. Aye, thanks for watching. Take care, guys. See you next one. Bye bye.